What's going on, guys? Today we're talking some of the best budget gear to get you started, part 2. What's going on, guys? My name is Dan. I love hiking, I love backpacking, I love gear. If you guys like that stuff too, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel now, because that's what this channel is all about. Make sure you also hit that bell notification so I can send you a video every time it's released. Today we're talking about budget gear to help you guys get started backpacking. Whether you're a seasoned backpacker, whether it's your first time backpacking, I promise some of this gear is going to be great for you. It's ultralight, ultra compact, ultra good, and it'll get you started on the trail. So a couple months ago, I made a video that I put out called the best budget gear to get you started. So I'm making another one today of more gear that I've got. I only touched on just a portion of the gear in that video that I have for you guys. Budget gear, inexpensive. I will absolutely make sure I put links in the description below so you can check this stuff out yourself. And so I know you guys are coming for the gear. You don't want to hear me rambling, so let's get started. Okay, so if you're new to backpacking, your backpack is typically a lot heavier, and so that weight kind of shifts around on you quite a bit, and you're trying to get your gear down lower. One way to really help you out and to get stable out on the trail is to get a pair of trekking poles. I found the Cascade Mountain trekking pole. These are aluminum trekking poles. They are the kind that you twist and then can lock. They have the carbide tips and they have really, really nice foam handles. These are super inexpensive. I want to say I paid $20 for these on Amazon, and they also make a little bit higher priced ones that are made out of carbon fiber. The carbon fiber version weighs about 8 ounces. I'll make sure for you gram guys, I'll put the grams as well. These one weigh a little over 10 ounces, I think, for the pair. So really not much more weight at all. And they are great to keep you stable on the trail. I would highly recommend these. I've used these myself. I've borrowed these out to friends. I own about 5 or 6 pairs of trekking poles, and these are some go-to fantastic trekking poles. They've never slipped up on me one time. I really like these a lot. A big concern that a lot of people have on the trail is running out of battery power. So if you're like filming or you've got a camera, you're gonna want a little bit higher power of a battery. So you're gonna wanna look for a higher number of milliamp hours to kind of tell you about how much power the battery is gonna hold, so it'll give you an idea of how many times you can recharge stuff. If you're just going for a weekend and you're not really planning on bringing like a video camera, or if you're not like a YouTuber or anything like that, if really all you're doing is trying to just get your phone recharged, I would highly recommend the Anker PowerCore 5000. This will recharge my phone about 1.5 to 2 times. And what I do is I just keep my phone on low power mode for the entire weekend, and this will easily get me through the whole weekend. This is also an option for you if you want to go even a little bit less expensive. This is the PowerCore Mini. It's a 3,350 milliamp hour battery, and this really will do about the same thing. So if you're really not going to use your phone that much, or maybe you just don't have a lot of friends back home to talk to, this battery will get you through the weekend as well. Super inexpensive. Pick one of these bad boys up. All right, so if you want a headlamp to get you through the weekend or the week, my recommendation for an inexpensive headlamp is the Nightcore NU25. It gets 360 lumens on full power. It's rechargeable. It's got a really nice red light on it. It's also got the really nice spot here, and then it also has this really nice floodlight as well. I took off the headband and I replaced it with a little bit of shock cord just to save myself a little bit more weight. The Nightcore NU25 headlamp, fantastic headlamp. IPX66. This will get you through rain and downpours. You can't go swimming with this headlamp. Fantastic headlamp. Highly recommend the Nightcore NU25. In the mornings after there's dew on my tarp or my tent, or it's been raining, it's really nice to be able to have something to kind of wipe off that dew. And also maybe if I want to clean out a pot, or if I got a really hot handle on something and I want to have something to grab the pot with, the Pack Towel Nano is an awesome towel. It comes in this tiny little stuff sack. It can strap right onto your backpack, the outside of your backpack, so it's easy to access. Then all you gotta do is pull this thing out, comes straight out of the stuff sack, opens up into this nice big towel, very absorbent, works really well. The Pack Towel Nano cost me like 10 bucks on Amazon, and it only weighs 1 ounce. Okay, so this next item I hiked for probably 3 years without. and I had heard so many different hikers and backpackers talk about this item, and I kind of just blew it off like it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'll tell you what, I went out and bought one of these things, and it literally revolutionized everything for me. And it's so simple. It's a buff. Now, all a buff is really just like a tube of cloth, and it can be used for tons of different things. You kind of put this thing around your neck. You can use it like a scarf. If it's cold, you can put it over your face. If you put your hands in it and you give it a twist and you pull it over the top, you got yourself a beanie. You can use it as a pot holder to grab stuff off of your pot. You can kind of wipe yourself down with it. This one's actually a merino wool version of Buff. It's actually the brand Buff. It is absolutely awesome. You can double it up for extra warmth. I've used this thing down to 25 degrees at night over my face. It kept me nice and warm. I've used this in all different types of environments. I highly recommend the Buff. This is something that I will absolutely never, ever, ever backpack without again. All right, another awesome item that I've used tons of times on the trail is the Swiss Army Knife Classic SD. It's got a knife on it. It has a nail file on it. It's got tweezers here so you can get out ticks. It's got a toothpick here so you can pick your ear, probably pick your nose, and get out splinters. Yeah, you can get out splinters. This is just enough to get me through a weekend. Definitely make sure you check this out. It's tiny, it's compact, it's ultralight. It's the Swiss Army Classic SD. Next item up on the list, super simple. I highly recommend it. Go out and get yourself, especially if you like to start fires out on the trail. Some of you guys are thru hikers. You're probably not gonna start fires every night, but some of you guys are weekend warrior backpackers. You love to start fires. Just go out and get yourself a Bic Mini, but you can get like a 3 or 4 pack or a 5 pack of these things, super inexpensive. I typically like the brighter color ones because if I drop it, I can see it. This is just one I had laying around I wanted to show you, but the Mini Bic lighter. I'm gonna add some epic sappy music right here. Sorry about that. Okay, next up on the list, a great item to get you started. It is cheaper than the Z Seat, and it can be as comfortable, I promise you. It is the Dutchwear Sit Pad. This thing weighs a ½ ounce. It folds up super, super small, so this can be stuffed anywhere, and it's just as comfortable as the Z Seat because when it's doubled up like this, you can get both your butt cheeks on this bad boy, and you're just super comfortable, nice and plushy. It also opens up nice and big, so if you want to sit on it like this, you can. And you can also use this for like cold spots in your hammock. It's a great item. I take this every time I go out on the trail, especially if I don't want to pull out my chair or things like that. I can just pull this out really easily. I can set this down on a log or a stump or a rock and have a nice place to sit when I'm taking a break on the trail. Okay, so one of the biggest things you're gonna need when you go backpacking is a backpack, right? So I've got one for you. It is not the cheapest backpack out there. There are much cheaper backpacks, probably half the price, but I'm just gonna tell you straight up, some of those backpacks are absolutely junk, and I guarantee you, if you start backpacking, you're gonna upgrade your backpack right away. Buying inexpensive backpacks can be junk, it can be uncomfortable, and it can totally fail on you. So what I'm gonna show you here is the Osprey Exos 48. This is actually the older version. There's newer versions of this. I like the older version because this one has hip belt pockets on it. I mean, I guess that's not that big of a deal. I really just kind of put snacks and some other small stuff in there, but it's not a deal breaker for me. This is really similar to the super popular Z-Packs Arc Blast or the Z-Packs Arc Haul that you're gonna see a lot of guys wearing because it's got an arced frame, and I think Z-Packs actually kind of copied this, but then it also has this airspeed suspension here, keeps it off your back, keeps your back nice and dry. So that can be a real problem when you're hiking long days. Your back gets really sweaty. This is an extremely lightweight backpack. This thing weighs 38 ounces, and you can actually get this down to 34 ounces if you take off the lid or the brain. You'll lose a bit of capacity, but it's a great backpack to get you started. Also, the Osprey doesn't come with a rain cover. I'm not really sure why Osprey does it. Osprey, if you're listening, start including rain covers in all your backpacks. It will make people a lot happier. But you can go out to Walmart and I found this one for $5 at Walmart. It is the Outdoor Products rain cover for your backpack. And it's got the shock cord back here that you can cinch up to fit almost any size backpack. And it just really just straps over the back of your backpack. If you don't want to go this route, another way to keep all your stuff dry is just to get a garbage bag, or some guys like to use a trash compactor bag. They put that in their backpack first, and then they pack everything that they don't want to get wet inside of the garbage bag or that trash compactor bag. Then they roll that up and stuff that down into their backpack. And even if their backpack gets soaking wet on the outside, all the stuff on the inside of that garbage bag stays nice and dry for you. But if you don't want to fidget with stuff like that and you want to make sure that your backpack just stays clean and dry, go out and get the Outdoor Products rain cover. All right, guys, that's it. That's all the gear for today. That's what I got for you today. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And after you've subscribed, make sure you hit that bell notification so I can send you videos every time they're released. You won't miss another video, and I'll see you on the next one. Fun fact for you guys, I bet you didn't know I film on my knees. Oh, God. Goodness gracious. I'm getting old.